Howdy, howdy, everybody out there in YouTube land. Whether you're a new viewer or you're coming back for some magic, today is Sunday, which means we're going to do some magic live for you right on the interwebs. So here we go. First trick, we're going to need a wand. Now, I don't have a lot of space in here to work, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to make something appear out of the tip of the wand, like that, some cards. Trying to figure out what to do with the wand, and there it goes. It just made something magically appear. Now, in the last live, somebody pointed out that the angles were too tight and you really couldn't see what was going on. So we've got the camera back there a little bit. We do have to work with the semantics of the camera, but for now we're going to work in this little box. We're going to keep everything in a single frame. Now we do have a deck of cards for some magic. First and foremost, what do we want to do? We want to have a card selected. So, having a card selected looks something like this. And today that card is going to be the 4 of clubs. Now the 4 of clubs, of course, gets lost back into the pack. Nothing in the hands. But then your card, hold on, got to shake it off. Your card magically appears on top of the deck. Place it back into the deck somewhere like so. And it appears, oh, sorry, we forgot to snap our fingers. And then, of course, it appears on top. Now, was that your card? I don't think that was your card. Wow, this isn't working out. Here, let's start fresh. Here we go. What we're going to want to do is make sure that all the cards are, in fact, in the deck. Perfect. Now that we know all the cards are in the deck, we're going to have one selected. Today, that card's going to be the Queen of Diamonds. Let's get into performance mode here. We're messing around, but let's actually do some magic for you today, so that we can have some fun, because that's what it's all about here. Now, here's what I tell people when I perform this for them. Can you tell what your card is from the back? No, see, because it's the back. It's not like the fancy cards that you can see through. No, you can't tell what your card is. So what I did is I actually made sure that the card was face up. That way it's easier for us to see. See what I did there? Perfect. Now, when we do this, and remember what your card is, because last time we didn't know what it was the Queen. Gorgeous. Why don't we go ahead and do a prediction trick, shall we? So, let's see. We've got the Queen here, but we're going to go ahead and pick a different card, since we just used that one already. Let's see. So we got to pick 2 cards. And these are going to be some magic cards. Let's see. I'm going to go with that one. And we'll go with that. Perfect. So we'll go ahead and hold on to these. We got a table over here. I don't know if you can see the table, but we're going to go ahead and place that wand over there. We don't need it right now. And we're going to go ahead and start dealing cards onto the table. I was hoping to use the table in a little bit, but I didn't want to have to change the camera angle. So I think everything I do is going to have to be waist up. So you might lose some of the effect on this, but all I'm doing is dealing cards onto the table. Okay. Then, when I feel like stopping, I will simply put my first prediction card, which is the Ace of Diamonds, face up onto the pack, dropping the rest of the cards onto the pack. And then I'll do that again. And whenever I feel like stopping, now, if we had somebody on, they could tell us when to stop. It wouldn't matter. Second card is the 7 of Diamonds, which happens to be my favorite card. We put the rest of the deck on top. We can even give this a little bit of a mix if we wanted to. Now, when we spread through the cards, you'll actually see where we stopped. And again, this could be completely fair choice by you. Point of the prediction trick, right, is that the magic happens right at your behest. That's the wrong one. There we go. Went right past it. So now we have two sets of cards here. We've got the Ace of Diamonds and the Seven of Diamonds, and of course you stopped right on the match. Or in my case, I stopped on it, but we got a match. So we got two red aces and two red sevens. Gorgeous. Why don't we go ahead and do some magic with those now? Here's what we'll do. Okay? Let's see how well we can move stuff around. See how flexible our fingers are. So we're going to take the Seven of Hearts, and we're going to place that on top. We're going to take the Ace of Hearts, and we're going to place that into the middle. Okay? Now, all you have to do is just wish upon a star. And you'll notice that the Ace of Hearts is on top, and the Seven of Hearts is in the middle. Now, let's go ahead and use the same cards. We'll put the Seven of Hearts on the bottom, and we'll put the Ace of Hearts on top. So now they're as far away as possible from each other. But with a blink, and you'll notice that they are gone, and now they are partnered up right in the center. Wowzers. That's kind of impressive. Now we've got all four cards back down here. Let's try it a little bit differently for the grand finale. We're going to take the Ace of Hearts and we're going to put it, you know what, we're actually going to put it face up on the pack because I feel like that just gives it a little bit more of like an impossible aspect when you've got the face up cards on the top and the bottom. And then you got two face down cards in the center, like that. So now when you do the magic, a little bit of a snap, you'll notice that the Seven of Hearts is on the top and the Seven of Diamonds on the bottom here. But that means in the center of the pack, where the magic is happening, you have two red aces. Wowzers. But of course, in order for the real magic to happen, what you need to do is you need to end where you began. The two red aces on the top and bottom, and of course, the two red sevens in the center. Ha-cha! Gorgeous. So there's a beautiful little set of card magic for you that you can learn right on the channel today. So all you gotta do is subscribe and you'll be able to learn those because we taught them this last week. And the last finale one right there is right out of Expert Card Magic. Right here. This one, Expert Card Magic, is a different one. This is Expert Card Table. You can pick this up from Amazon for about $12. And if you use the affiliate link from my video, I may earn a little bit of a commission, which I would appreciate that. Now, I want to talk about my ring. Ring magic is one of my favorite things. Now, you got to be careful when you put it over here because it will disappear. So you just kind of pretend to catch it and throw it back on the finger, and the magic happens. Wow. Now, I don't know how that looks on camera, so let me get a little bit closer for you. Alternatively, we can take this ring, throw it into the air, and then catch it just like that. Very nice. Now, you're wondering, can I do it with the left hand? I could, but then you would see the loophole. See the loophole right here? I guess that's more of a finger hole. We toss that into the air and catch it just like that. And then throw it back onto the finger. Some nice little ring magic for you, which I'm a huge fan of. You can always learn something like that from Garrett Thomas. Yeah, go check out Garrett Thomas, and you'll learn most of the ring magic that you need in your life. Here we go. What do we got next? I don't know what we've got next. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we need something like this. If we take this here, and here it is. You see it right here? Oh, you can't see that? Let's get a little bit closer here. You know what? I can't even see it yet myself. What if I blow? And then it appears. Yeah, that works out a little bit better. I guess when you blow it works better. Now, as a magician, let's see if I'm in the right frame here. I might be Am I too high? I guess you might not even be able to see my pocket here. You know what? I'm going to have to tilt the camera down a little bit, I think. Let me go ahead and check my other angle here to make sure that you can't see my pocket. Yeah, you can't really see my pocket there. So I kind of need a wider frame here, and I'm not really sure how to get that. Tilt down a little bit till you can get my pocket. Then you can't see my face. But you're here for the magic anyway. You're not here for my face. That might have worked for the table too. I don't know. Anyway, so it's going to go into the pocket this way, but not through the hole like, you know, like a normie. And then it goes into the pocket. See that? Now into the hand it goes, but the sleeves get in the way as the magical moment happens. Of course, it just dumped back into the pocket. Now, if we take the coin here at the fingertips, and this time we're actually going to put it inside the pocket on this side. You can see the little shape there. But it actually comes through the material just as quick as that. Now, the next part I really enjoy, because we got to get close for this, for the perception of it. You got to catch the light, right? You just give it a little bit of a wave, and it actually starts to look like a different coin. But it's still the same coin. I don't want you to get it confused. You just simply have to change the perspective to make it look different. Now, if you look at it in the light, ooh, we dropped it. It looks different. Now, if we send it over to here, it really just appears to be a different coin. But this one even confuses me, because I don't know where the other coin is. There's only one coin, I tell you, and it's this one. And this is what I talk about when you end where you began. You take this coin here real quick. You take this coin over to here. Now, you give it a little bit of a wave, toss it into this hand, and then you give it that blow I was talking about, and it disappears completely. Ha-cha! And you can kind of riff around with that little coin magic. Now, what I would recommend for this, you have a little bit of time. Go check out Copeland Coins if you want to buy some coin magic. Here, let me go ahead and show you my face so that you can get the message here loud and clear. Copeland Coins is going out of business. You want to learn about coin magic? Go check them out before they're gone. Buy as many downloads as you can get if they're still available. I apologize if they're not, because I didn't check before the video. If they're not available, go onto YouTube and check out Rick Holcomb, and you're going to get some fantastic coin magic from him that's going to give you this really nice starter pack. This is going to teach you, he's my coin guy. I'm going to send you over to Rick Holcomb, RickHolcombe. He's going to teach you some fantastic coin magic. And of course, if you do want some of the classic coin magic, always check out Doug Kahn. He's going to give you everything that you're going to need to get started. Okay? Let's jump over here real quick, back to my stream. Hello, Mitchell, the Go Animator. Hello, Mitchell. Thanks for popping on. This is my Sunday live magic show. I'm going to do some tricks, and I'm also going to be sending you in the direction of somebody that can teach you this, or if you just want to watch their magic, they're going to have all the stuff that you're going to need in your life. Whether you want to be entertained or if you want to learn, they're going to be the place to go. And as a side note, if you are a YouTuber, Go Animator, I also point you in the direction of like Think Media or vidIQ or Roberto Blake. If you need a YouTube guy, you want to check out some people that are going to be able to assist you with that. Now, I don't know what kind of channel you got. You're a Go Animator. That's fantastic. I'm always in the field of trying to figure out how to add some extra fun to my stuff. So it's always an interesting field to be in. What do I want to do next? Oh, yes. So the other day I got this new wallet, but I've got to change my perspective again here. I do apologize for the back and forth here. I do have multiple cameras, but I'm not sure why I'm not using them. I kind of wanted to keep it in this really nice frame, but it's not working out. But I have multiple cameras, so I could have changed it. Anyway, I got this beautiful wallet the other day. I really like to dress up in suits. So when it comes to the black, it's classic, right? So I take the black wallet and I make... Wait a second. Oh, that's right. This is the brown wallet. Silly me. Brown is definitely a little bit more exquisite, if you will. It's a gorgeous color, the leather of it, and it just looks very nice. So, of course, let's go ahead and take this red here. This red, can't get it out. So this is a card trick in and of itself, but this red actually represents, it represents any card that's in the deck, but it also, I put it in the red wallet. So let me go ahead and set this down over here for a second. And I want you to think of a card, but we're gonna get there. So this is like a showstopper, right? Because of the red. But really, when you want to get going, you got to get the green light to go. And the green wallet is a nice one. I really like that one. People like the aesthetic of the green. Now, the real question is, what color is the wallet? Yeah, what color is the wallet? It's actually all the colors. Yeah, we've got the green, the black, we got the brown, and the red, because they all kind of go together. You know what I'm saying? But when you really want to get back to it, you want to get the black wallet. That way you're ready for all occasions. Gorgeous. Love it. Now, remember what I was saying earlier about any card. Yeah, you could have picked any card. And we do have 2 people on right now, so you could actually pick any card. So why don't I go, and if you typed it in there, and I don't see it pop up there yet, we're going to move on to the next thing, and if a card does show up, then we'll come back to it. I'm going to play with my hat a little bit while we're waiting for somebody to select a card. Ooh, kind of tight in here. See if I can do the old foot trick. See, the fun part about the hat is that it's kind of like a circus thing, right? So I can drop the hat, and it still is fun, right? Ha-ha, I dropped the hat. But it's okay, because I got it back. Ha-cha! And I just realized completely that because the camera was in my waist area for the purpose of a down-low effect, you saw none of that. So it was even more... It wasn't so much a visual trick as more of just the antics of a guy playing around on camera with his hat. But the camera wasn't actually facing him. So you just kind of have to have fun with the fact that it was more of an auditorial thing, you know. Here we go. So we've got the hat. We're going to do it again. Now, what I really don't like about this hat is that it's a bowler hat, which means it's for villains, but not really. But what that means is that there's actually a portal to a different realm, and it's kind of icky. You know what I'm saying? I lose my arms all the time. Now, what I like to do is I like to toss the hat over to the other hand. This is what I was talking about. It fell to the floor, but I can use my foot to bring it back, and it works out pretty good. Spin it on the hand, and then we just simply toss it to the other hand, and then we get the really nice behind the back to catch it up. I got wide shoulders. How many times can we do it until somebody picks a card? I don't know. We're playing around with our hat. Got a green screen behind us, but we're not using that today. Whoa, that's a good one. But the angle is kind of too tight for the full display of that. That's something that plays really well out on the streets. Now, I'll tell you, I've already mentioned Doug Kahn for busking, but Jimmy Talks a Lot is going to be a fantastic source for that. You can check him over on Substack. He does have a YouTube, but Substack is where he releases his articles weekly. Now, you can get a free one every other week, or you can purchase his Substack. I think it's like $8 or something like that. And you can get all the behind the scenes. He's actually putting together a collective works of busking. So he's going to be releasing a book real soon where he takes all of his past articles and all his past things, and he's going to bring them up, and he's going to revitalize them, and he's going to be publishing, and some of that material in the book is going to be brand new. So busking, if you're into busking, he's going to be the guy you want to go see. Now, if you don't know what busking is kind of like what I'm doing here, but not really, because it's a little better. So busking is when you go out and you perform on the street, which is a little bit different because it's similar to what I'm doing here, but it's more successful. And here's what I mean by that. So on YouTube, I go live, right? and then they push a little bit of traffic here and there. So somebody hops onto the live, and they're like, "Oh, who's this guy? What's he doing?" And you're like the pedestrian that's walking by my table. Now, of course, you're like, I don't like this guy. And you skip away. And that's exactly what you might see on the street. You might see some people going by, and you might think, oh, he's just some magician on the square. I'm going to go ahead and pass because I'm not interested in watching today. But you might have a couple people who pop on, and they're like, oh, this guy, he's doing some magic. Let's go ahead and stop and watch him for a little bit, and let's move on. Now, what ends up happening is this. If I were to get like 5 to 10 people watching at one time, I would bring the table in, and I would start throwing in, I would do like a full-on set of magic. Because if you're busking and you want to bring people in, you might do some one-liner stuff. You're going to do some modular pieces that you can kind of string together, but then you can really start to dig deeper. If you get a group of people, then you've got a show you can do. So that's kind of where we're at. Like if I had a group of people on, I can hop into the cups and balls. I could do some sponge balls. I could do some juggling. You know, there's a bunch of stuff that we could do that would really make this pop out a little bit. And again, so I give you all these resources for people you can go watch. And I need to work on my angles here because now that I'm looking at it, this is even tighter than what I thought. And I got to figure out, this is almost worse in some ways because at least with the other one, there was a distraction to take away from the magic. In this one, it's so tight that I can't, like, I need to figure out how to set up my space for the lighting. I have enough lighting. I don't know if my cameras are good enough, but I have, let's see, I've got at least 3 cameras that work right now. So that should be enough to set up a good display. So I should have like and this is where we're going to pop into our, seat for a second because we've done our magic show. Let me check to see how long we've been on here and make sure that the sound is working because I forgot to check the sound. That's always the worst thing to do. Sound should have been pretty good. So let's see, with me standing up here, pop on some sound real quick. And where are we at? Here we are. And make sure that the sound is working. So sound seems pretty good. But we're going to put that back on mute, you know what I'm saying? And then we're going to pop over here so that you can see me because you probably want to do that, I'm guessing. And here we go. We're back into our studio mode. Make sure our frame is good. And then here's what I do. Here's the fun part, right? So I can actually get back into a nice view here. I like to sit back a little bit. And and this is what I normally do. There's some OBS behind the scenes here because I'm actually going to get into frame better. Oop, that's the wrong one. Happens. This one, it's a little bit of magic, not necessarily editing per se, but it's a little perceptive there. So now we've got the green screen. If we come back a little bit, we can actually, this is what I typically do in my videos. So you'll get a little bit of a quick behind the scenes on how I set it up so that you'll be able to see if I were to perform. Maybe you guys prefer this view a little bit better. For anybody who joins my live in the future and sees the change up in the setup midstream, that's going to be pretty fun for you, I think. Maybe, I don't know. So what we actually do here is, now that we've got this repositioned, we put us in the corner, and we do everything here on the channel. We talk about OBS, we talk about tech, we talk about magic. So if anybody who's joining who's into YouTube, we're a good stepping stone because we're about mid-tier in everything that we do. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it's how we do things. So we're going to pop over and add another camera here. And then we're going to organize. This is the camera that I was just using for the magic. And what I'd like to do is, sometimes you might want to set it up in such a way that, like, you want to set your camera where you want it, and then you want to move your prop stuff to where you need it. So let's take a look-see here. No messages on the phone because, you know, nobody. Anyway, I got the mouse here, so what I want to do is make sure that the broadcast is still working. pop back over so I don't miss out on anybody commenting, because as I pointed out before, I had somebody jump on that said, "Hey, how's it going?" and I missed it completely. So hopefully I didn't miss it with Mitchell, and he caught that I did say hi before he left. So in terms of the setup of the table, here we have a card. Now, nobody actually set a card, so what I'll do is I'll take out a pack here, and we're going to cut to any card. Now, here's the fun part. This card right here, this trick can do, is impromptu, and I can actually cut to any card in the deck. For instance, I'll show you first. I'll show you up here, and then I'll look at it myself, and it's the 5 of hearts. Wowzers, nobody changed anything, nobody did anything, but yet I had this card in my wallet the entire time. And wouldn't you know it, it's actually right there towards the center of the card. Absolutely gorgeous. So, this is a live thing that I do. I put together this small little routine with the wallet, which helps me introduce a couple of different things. This phone does not do it. I don't know if I can even get the app on here, just to give you a behind the scenes for that trick. So that's a card to phone trick where I introduce the wallet, do the presentation with color. Then I introduce this card during the routine, and I have them think of a card. And then I have the card show up on the phone in some fashion or another. So that's a little bit of magic that you can do with your wallet. If you have the Chameleon Skin wallet from Jim Steinmeier, you can pick that up. It's a beautiful wallet. If you check out my video on the review of it, you'll find the affiliate link in the description. And that way you can go ahead and pick it up. And I do mention the affiliate link just so that you guys know that if you do purchase anything from my links, it may provide a small commission to me, which really helps out the channel. But you just being here and watching this is more than enough for me. So I appreciate anybody who watches this now or in the future. Okay, so it looks like we've been on here for some time. About half an hour now, which I think is a pretty good run here. And we did magic throughout, and it's not just about performing the magic, but it's about being comfortable in a space where I can't just stop and then start again. Like, I'm practicing my lives, and I'm getting this show better. So the good news is, if you tune into the first couple of shows, you're going to see somebody who's maybe okay at the magic, but not so much good at the performance. But then you visit here in a couple of months, and you'll be like, wow, this guy's pretty good. Because we talked about on the channel, we talked about the 10,000 hour rule. Now, not getting into the debate and the conspiracy of whether or not it's real science, but the real point is that there's some very important tips in that video if you want to go check it out. If my camera is actually working, because it looks like I froze. Am I still live? I look good here. Everything looks good there. But it's, oh, okay. Go back too far. Hello, hello. I don't know. I think we're still live. Excellent connection. Anyway, so let's go ahead and pop back over, because now that we're sitting down, we're probably not going to do any more magic unless somebody wants to see some magic. We're going to bring this down like this. Hi, it's me. So I do some stuff with the green screen, which is more of just like playing around. But it's it doesn't work so much with the normal clothes that I like to wear, because I wear a lot of color. It's flashy, and it's nice for the kids. Kids can enjoy the color, you know, in terms of the rainbow and the Legos and all that. So then you get this like after effect here, which it's intentional to some degree because it's just weird, but it's fun, and it looks like I'm in space. It's weird. Sometimes it picks up the yellow, but you clearly see it's picking up the blue and the green, and that's nice. So we're talking about the 10,000 hour rule because we're trying to flesh out the conversation in terms of like why we're doing what we're doing. Because some people might be like, well, this guy's not very good. Well, that's true, and I admit it, because I perform live for people, but I perform tricks. I perform magic, but I don't perform shows. So the reason why I'm on here every week and putting together these little shows for you, using magic that I use on my daily my daily routine as I'm going out into the wild, I perform these tricks for people. Now I can perform these tricks in an isolated setting, but I need to practice my performance. And if I get one or two people hopping on and seeing me perform, that's great. I'm just really concerned that my live is paused, and I don't know why. Let me see if I can hop on here real quick to make sure that it's actually... Nope, that's not going to do it. View channel. Am I still live? That's the question. Okay, we're solid. We're still solid on the live. I do apologize. It just... Oh... Oh, I love it. I'm awesome, and I make myself laugh. I just say it that way. And when I say I'm awesome, I mean like diabolically so. So I just said I paused the live. It seemed like the live was paused, and I was not wrong. I had actually paused it in my in my YouTube. So it was paused. It was in fact paused. Anyway, 10,000 hour rule, deliberate practice, and making sure that I can get better and better and better. So now I'm at the point where I'm practicing my shows. I'm practicing the magic, and I'm getting used to the fact that when I perform, it's in a natural, congruent fashion, and then I can put together shows that are going to be organized in such a way that there's going to be direction and pattern and things like that. So I've already got the ability to do the magic. I can do the magic in an isolated video, but I can stop and start, and I can record the magic that I want to give you. But can I provide that to you off cuff? Now, when I'm out in the wild, I'm pretty comfortable enough to do that in the most situations, but it's just different when you're potentially in front of an audience. And so that's kind of where I want to get better. So that answers the question of why am I doing weekly magic shows live on my YouTube? And it's so that I can practice performing and hopefully lead that into getting better at performing. So as I pointed out earlier, if you're watching now and you're like, oh, this guy's magic's okay, but the show's kind of subpar, that's because we're practicing. And so hopefully you check back in a couple of months and we've gotten substantially better because we're putting in the work, we're putting in the effort, we're learning new skills, and we're trying to get better and better every single day. Because the quote that I do quotes of the day, and the best quote that I found this week, which was, or maybe it was last week, I don't remember. It's that you're not in competition with anybody else. You're only in competition with your past self. Because every day you should get better. So you ask yourself, how did I do yesterday? Okay, now do better today. So that's really what we want to do on the channel. And we really want to push ourselves in a direction where we can do 3 things. And that is to stay positive. Because positivity is everything. It's hard sometimes, but it's necessary. We got to stay active, whether that be exercising, whether that be maintaining our diet, whether that be learning our new skills, whether that be just being engaged with our lives. Because another quote that I posted recently, and I heard this from Dwayne Johnson, which is, if you come home after working 8 hours and you don't put any effort into your own dreams because you put in all your effort for somebody else, then you're not just tired. You're uninspired. So just chase your dreams and just do that thing that you wanted to do and just keep at it, because it's going to take 10,000 hours. You know, it's going to take a deliberate amount of time. And I say deliberate because you've got to take each step. No matter how hard that step is, you've got to keep going in the direction, because it's going to take you a substantial amount of deliberate practice to get really good at something. And then once you're really good at something, that's when you can really start putting in the effort and really start becoming a master at whatever it is that you want to do. But you can't do that until you get good at it. And that's a lot of work. You know, I use this example because the book from the 10,000 Hour came from was studying elite violinists. And we know all the stories of the prodigies, the child prodigies who were masters by the time they were 12. Well, that's because they started when they were like, hey, how old are you? Oh, great, you can hold this instrument. You know, they were forced to practice this thing. Yes, they had a natural talent for it, but they had already been doing it for 10 years before you even figured out what, what a book was, like, not really. I'm just saying that, like, the general populace didn't have access to those resources at such an early age. So you got to start early and you got to practice often. You just got to make it a part of your life. I use the example of the monks on the mountain. The reason why the monks were so good at what they did is because they went to live at the monastery and they did it for 8 to 10 hours a day. Like, that's all they did. Like, oh, here you go. You got your monk life. You got your different chores and tasks that you can do. And then the rest of your time is spent in meditation and practicing your vocation. That's all they did. That's everything that they put all their time and effort into. So we just want to make sure that when we go out into the wild, that we are being our true selves, that we're being authentic, and that we're pursuing our dreams. Because that's all we have, is our dreams and our aspirations. So just find a way to make those dreams and aspirations, make sure that your whatever skill or talent or whatever your hobbies are, make sure that you can work those into every single day as best as you can. Ha-cha. We're going to end it off with one more trick. What do we want to do today? So this is a beautiful little thing that I posted a video on. It was an older video, and it wasn't even about the bubbles. The trick was actually about the video was actually about cube magic. Not just like Rubik's Cube, but like magic with cubes. And there was some Rubik's Cube magic in it. But this was just the intro. And apparently people really love bubbles. And this has been my best video of late. Got like 15,000 views. So, oh. I caught it. The bubble. Gotcha. Of course, this bubble will not last forever because eventually it will simply disappear. So that's a little bit of bubble magic for you. So the fun part about that is I got that in a magic kit. Just a fun little thing that you can do. And I like to take that out like on if I'm going to an event or something and I know I'm going to be waiting in a long line, I'll carry that with me. And then that way I can just like, I'll have a couple of tricks that I can cycle through. And that's one of them. So I just blow some bubbles, catch a bubble real quick, make it disappear, and then move on to the next one. And then just, I'm in line for like an hour anyway, so I might as well have fun, right? So, bubble magic. A lot of fun. Did I catch it? I got it. Yay! But it kind of went out of frame a little bit. But that's okay. Now here's where I'm really interested in and how the conversion went here. Not terrible. Still a little bit out of frame. But you get the basic idea. It's fun. But okay. So we've been on this definitely for like an hour. Or half hour, sorry. I can't do math. Oh, 40 minutes. Wowzers, this is twice as long as I was anticipating. I've had so much fun talking to myself, I don't even know what to do with myself. I don't even know. Oh, I entertain myself. I amuse myself. So, we do have, it does appear to be one viewer on the stream. Hopefully you hang out long enough to hear this question. Would you like me to perform any magic before I sign off? Or do you have any questions for me at all? Usually it takes about 20 seconds, so we'll see how it goes. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. So that trick I was talking about earlier, I normally use with the phone. I had broke my old phone, and so just as a side note, that's why I haven't really been posting any shorts, because this phone doesn't do that. It doesn't. It's an S4, Galaxy S4, and it barely even does text message. So I have Euchre on there. That's about it. I got Euchre and I got a TV remote app. So I'm not able to post any shorts right now. So I'm not able to go and do. I could probably do it on the computer and things like that, but that's a skill that I haven't really. And it's not so much that it's a positive or negative in one direction or the other. It's that when things are convenient, they're just really easy to do. And then you get into bad habits. So having a cell phone that could do everything is my central hub. And then not having that, I mean, it means that you got to grind. And that's something that it's not, again, not good or bad. It just means I have to do things a little bit differently, which means certain things that I was doing on the regular are not happening. So I definitely need to get back to where I have the phone so that I can post short content daily, because I haven't figured out how to remix from the computer yet. So it's really easy on the app, not so much on the computer. I mean, maybe it is, and I'm just not, again, not in that space. So I really appreciate the 8 views and I've got 3, somebody's been watching for 3, I'm guessing for 3 minutes, at least. I don't know. So I really appreciate whoever this concurrent viewer is. It might even be me. And if it's me, wow, I'm dedicated beyond anything. Oh, 42 minutes. What am I even doing here? I thought I'm here looking at something else, and there's a counter right up top there. So we've been on here for 42 minutes. We did about a 20-minute magic show. We gave you a lot of information while we did the magic show. After we did a trick, we pointed you in the direction of somebody else, community shout-outs and stuff like that. And part of what we're doing here on this video, or on the Sunday Live, is we are doing multiple different things. We are practicing our magic for performance purposes. We are tuning in our tech and background stuff so that we can perform a more dedicated show for you. And our concurrent viewer finally left. He was tired of my rambling, just in a sense of recapping the video. He's like, I don't want to recap. I want other stuff. But I do appreciate you for jumping on. Thank you so much for staying as long as you did. And we want to point you in doing community shout-outs. Tune in our tech so that our videos are better. And just do a hangout. Just do a general hangout and chat with you. So I really hope that whoever is watching wants to chat. This is the end of the video. So Marzina Hayes, who has been watching my videos very consistently, usually pops on right when I'm about to leave. So thank you so much, Marzina Hayes, for popping onto my videos. Thank you so much, everybody else, for watching. And hopefully we get better and better. And if you have any suggestions, make sure you leave them in the comments. Don't forget the giveaways. We have 2 giveaways live on the channel, and we still haven't got enough people to do them. I really hope that we can get that done very soon. So thank you, everybody, and remember, always remember, stay positive, stay active, and stay awesome. And hopefully, we see you in the next.